We begin tonight with the Ottawa County man who will spend decades in prison after a jury found him guilty of sexual assault last month. Greg DuJardine was on parole for a previous life offense when he followed and assaulted a woman at a gas station south of Grand Haven last year. 13 on your side's Kelly Lichter was in court as the judge sent him to prison until he is at least 86.
Greg DuJardine was teary-eyed in an Ottawa County courtroom Friday as a judge sentenced him to decades in prison.
I do not believe a person like this should be trusted to live in society, because how can you live in society without upholding basic respect for those around you? This should never happen again to anyone, and I've gone through this process to ensure that it doesn't.
Over Zoom in court, the victim, who we are not identifying, says what DuJardine did to her in September has significantly impacted her life. He was just months out of prison on parole for sexual assaults that happened back in the 80s. A jury found him guilty of doing the same thing last month. Court documents say DuJardine followed the woman from Grand Haven State Park, hit her car, and then sexually assaulted her. The prosecution read a transcript of DuJardine's 1989 sentencing where the judge called him a predator, something she echoed today.
My hope is that with the 25-year sentence, mandatory minimum here, and with parole being in place and their ramifications for that violation, that he will not leave the Michigan Department of Corrections breathing.
The defense argued DuJardine spent the majority of his life in prison and hoped to get a chance to be free again. But Judge John Holsing says he ruined that chance.
So was this avoidable? Obviously, Mr. DuJardine is solely responsible for these acts, but there's a failure by the authorities as well, and it's inexcusable.
DuJardine will spend at least 25 years in prison and will be 86 when eligible for parole.
Kelly joins us now from the newsroom. And Kelly, why was DuJardine let out on parole last year?
Julia, Michigan has a lifer law, which allows certain people granted life sentences, like for criminal sexual conduct, to be eligible for parole after a certain number of years served. DuJardine's life sentence was for criminal sexual conduct, which he served from 1989 to May 2024, Juliet.
All right, thanks for that clarification, Kelly.